So if you're over 40 and quietly exhausted, you're in the right place, especially if you're a mom like me. And especially if rest makes you uncomfortable. This one's for you. Because rest might even make you anxious. That doesn't mean you're bad at resting. Not at all. Absolutely not. It means your body learned survival first. So when you rest, you feel anxious. You feel like you need to be doing something. So today, we are talking about why rest can feel unsafe after survival. Not emotionally, but biologically. And that is confirmation. And by the way, we have peacocks outside. So that's what you're hearing. You're hearing my peacocks. So anyhow, so we're going to continue talking about here how to begin relearning safety without forcing yourself, right? You don't want to feel like you're forcing yourself. You know the feeling. You finally sit down, you grab a seat, and you go to relax, and then bam, you have a wave of anxiety. It hits you like a ton of bricks. Your mind starts racing, making a list of all the things you should be doing right now. That quiet moment you were so desperate for is suddenly hijacked. Your mind is buzzing in unease and feeling this is a feeling you've probably learned to call guilt. So you feel guilty about sitting because you feel like you should be doing something, right? But what if I told you that it isn't guilt? It's not a moral failing. It's not a sign you're lazy. It's a biological threat response. Yes, it's biological. It's your brain conditioned by years of non-stop stress. Literally, your brain is panicking at the thought of stillness. So if you're over 40, a parent, or just someone who feels bone tired all the time, this probably sounds all too familiar to you. That feeling isn't a character flaw. It's not your personality. It's your nervous system wired for survival, mistaking rest for a threat. So today, we're going to unpack what's really going on. We're going to talk. Remember, I told you, I think in the last video, I talked about the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. Well, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the science of why your body's internal alarm system gets stuck in the on position. And most importantly, how you can teach it that it's finally safe to power down. You can shut it down. This isn't about forcing yourself to relax. Not at all. Because you can't force yourself to relax. You'll just cause more anxiety. It's about rebuilding a sense of safety from the inside out. So, why does rest feel so terrifying? Drop a comment if you think you know. Let me drop it in the comments. It all goes back to your brain. Your brain's number one job is to keep you alive. For that, it uses something called the autonomic nervous system, which acts like your body's command center. Think of it as having a gas pedal and a brake, right? The gas pedal is your sympathetic nervous system. This is your fight or flight, right? So that's your gas pedal. Your gas pedal is your fight or flight mode. When it sniffs out a threat, whether that's a real danger or just another stressful deadline, it floods your brain and your body with adrenaline and cortisol. I know, I gotta make that video on cortisol. so you can see what this is really doing to your body. Your heart races, your muscles tense, and your mind goes into hyperfocus. It's an incredible tool for survival. But the truth is, you're not really in survival mode. You have been operating that way, but we're not in the forest, we're not in the jungle. So now let's look at the brakes as your parasympathetic nervous system. Its job is to calm everything down and handle rest and digestive functions once the coast is clear. But what happens when you spend weeks, months, or even years with your foot slammed on the gas pedal? Your fight or flight is just on. And that's the problem, because that's the modern life for a lot of us. It's chronic stress, constant pings from our phones, and the glorification of a hustle culture. And we are praised for the hustle culture, which wears burnout as a badge of honor. This long-term state of activation leads us to what's called threat-based conditioning. Your brain learns a simple but dangerous new rule. Being busy equals safe. Yep. So this constant foot on the gas pedal tells your brain that when you're busy, you're safe. When you're resting, you're not. This literally rewires your brain. The amygdala, which is your brain's little threat detector. Remember, I said before we were going to talk about that. The amygdala is the stress detector. It becomes hyperactive. That's the gas pedal. It's like an over-caffeinated security guard who starts seeing danger everywhere, right? Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, the calm, logical part of your brain that handles planning and reason, gets quieted. So your amygdala is firing off, and the part of your brain, that prefrontal cortex that's supposed to help you calm down, is not working. Essentially, the emotional, panicky part of your brain is screaming, while the rational part of your brain can barely get a word in. In this state, rest feels like letting your guard down. And to a brain trained to see threats everywhere, that feels way more dangerous than just being exhausted. So you have trained your brain to live in the state of exhaustion because you feel like it's more dangerous to rest. So imagine this. You've done it. You've cleared your schedule. The kids are asleep. The emails are all answered. You collapse on the couch, take a deep breath, and wait for the sweet relief, right? You're like, oh, it's finally happening. And instead, you get a jolt of anxiety. Your heart starts to race, your legs start bouncing, your mind starts replaying conversations or building a to-do list for tomorrow, right? That's not rest. You're still in overdrive. Has this ever happened to you? Let me know in the comments below, because it has happened to me. I have had company over where they're like, hey, why don't you sit down? I'm like, I'm okay. I've been sitting all day. No, it's because I can't sit still. And noticing this bizarre pattern is the first step to changing it. So drop it in the comment if you've noticed. And the experience is not you doing rest wrong. It's a predictable biological reaction. When you've been running on high alert for so long, Your nervous system gets used to that as its baseline. Your body has learned that constant motion and mental gymnastics, right? That creating that to-do list when you're supposed to be resting means you're in control and therefore you're safe. From what? We don't know. You tell me what you're safe from. It's not funny, really. It's ironic. When you suddenly stop, all that external noise drops to zero. To your hyper-vigilant brain, that amygdala, this abrupt quiet doesn't register as peace. It registers as sudden, terrifying loss of control. It's unfamiliar, and the brain is wired to label anything unfamiliar as potential threat. Yep. If your brain doesn't recognize it, it says, okay, that's a threat. Rest is a threat. It doesn't recognize rest. When was the last time you rested? And this triggers a cascade of very real, very physical survival signals. That restlessness, the racing thoughts, the sudden urge to just get up and do something, these are physical autonomic responses that your body is having to being in constant survival mode. Your heart rate might climb, so you might be laying down and all of a sudden your heart starts racing. Your breathing gets shallow. You can't take a deep breath. You feel a knot in your stomach. Your brain isn't actually resisting rest. It's trying to protect you from what it has mistakenly flagged as danger. It's like a smoke alarm that becomes so sensitive. It goes off every time you make toast. That would be crazy, right? If your smoke alarm in your house was going off every time you made some toast. Think about that. And this alarm is real, but the threat is what is imaginary, because there's no threat. There's no threat when you go to rest. It's your body's adaptation to being in this state of survival. Now, we have a word we like to throw at this feeling. When you start feeling like this, you feel guilt. I feel so guilty for just sitting here, we tell ourselves. But guilt is a social and cognitive emotion. It's the feeling you get when you believe you've done something wrong or violated a moral code. Can someone please tell me what moral code is violated by getting rest? Honestly. What we're talking about here is much more primal. Chances are what you're feeling isn't cognitive guilt, but it's a somatic or body-based threat response, right? We talked about that. This is your body responding to what it thinks is a threat. And here's the difference. Guilt is the little voice in your head saying, "You're so lazy." A threat response is a jolt in your chest, a tightness in your throat, or that inexplicable urge to bolt from the room. Right? Like, I just gotta get up. I gotta go do something. This is where understanding a concept called polyvagal theory from Dr. Stephen Porges is a total game changer. This theory explains that our nervous system has more tricks than just fight or flight. Like, this was really interesting for me to even find out, because I always thought, oh, it's just that fight or flight response. What this theory says is that when a threat feels overwhelming, we can also go into a freeze state, which often shows up as that tense, restless, stuck feeling. These are polyvagal responses, and our conscious mind often misinterprets this as emotions like guilt or shame even. So that's why you start saying to yourself, I feel guilty for sitting down. I should be doing something. Your body isn't judging you. It's protecting you with an outdated map. That map was drawn during a time of intense stress when being constantly on the move was the key to your financial, professional, or emotional survival. Your body learned its job brilliantly back then. The problem is it doesn't realize the war is over and it's finally safe to come home and settle down and get some rest. It just doesn't realize it. And it's really crazy. I mean, how many people do you talk to where they're just like, they just need to do something. We have ADHD. We just need to keep moving. People are running around, right? And the thing is that for many of us, this programming runs even deeper. It's not just about being dysregulated. It's not just about a dysregulated nervous system. It's that our very sense of self-worth has gotten tangled up with our productivity. So when you're not being productive, you don't feel worthy. So if you grew up in a home where you got love, praise, or even just basic safety based on your performance, good grades, being helpful, winning the game, your brain learned a core belief. To be useful is to be safe. To be still is to be vulnerable. Does this sound familiar to any of you? And this gets reinforced everywhere by the modern hustle culture, which screams that our value is tied to our output. The side hustle, the extra project, the flawlessly clean house, right? The perfect Christmas, the perfect birthday party, everything's gotta be perfect. They stop being choices and start feeling like a requirement for our existence. Even though most of us know that this relentless pressure leads to burnout, we still feel it. We still feel like we have to do it. So when your identity gets fused with your function, rest doesn't feel unproductive. It can feel like you're being erased. If doing things is how you prove you deserve to take up space, then simply being, right, can feel like you're disappearing. Like it's not being is not valued. Just being yourself or just being, it's just like, wait a minute, I need to be doing something so that I can be valued, so that I can be seen. And on a deep subconscious level, stopping can trigger old, terrifying fears of being abandoned or being deemed worthless. Pretty scary stuff, right? No wonder your brain is reacting this way. But here's the beautiful truth though. Rest is the very thing that dismantles this false identity. It is the radical act of decoupling your worth from your work. This is a declaration that you are inherently valuable just because you exist. You don't have to do anything to be valuable. Just be. And learning to truly rest is how you build real, lasting resilience, honestly. I remember the first time when I started meditating, I could not sit still. I was just like, my mind was racing. They tell you, quiet your mind, don't think about anything. I was like, what? What does that mean? So, okay, now we know our brains are a bit of a hot mess, right? The good news is we can absolutely retrain our brains. You can't logic your way out of a nervous system response. Yeah, logic isn't going to do it. But you can give it a new experience to prove that it's safe. The goal is not to force relaxation. That's not the goal. Because forcing relaxation will usually add more stress. But the goal is to create tiny, gentle, corrective experiences that signal safety to your body first. This is how you re-engage the parasympathetic nervous system, your brake pedal, your prefrontal cortex. And this is how you build a new pathway for calm. A few years back when I have a naturopath that I see, and a few years back when I started seeing my naturopath, she was like, do you stop? Like, there was a time like I went for therapy and a special massage, like a detox massage. And she was just like, you're talking through the whole thing. You're supposed to rest. And I was like, blah, 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 blah. I couldn't stop. Have you been there? Well, if you have, here are a few simple experiments that you can try. The goal here is practice, not perfection. You want to microdose yourself into resting, right? And I'm being serious. Don't aim for an hour of meditation. That's a recipe for a panic attack. Start with 30 seconds. Set a timer, sit down with your phone, and just exist. Do nothing. Your only job is to stay put. This teaches your system that 30 seconds of stillness won't hurt you. After a few days, maybe try a minute, then 5 minutes. This is about building tolerance gently. Yeah, I tried a whole hour. I was freaking out. I was like, what is going on? And next, use your body to calm your brain with body first relaxation techniques. Your brain might be freaking out, but your body offers a direct line to calm. A powerful tool is the psychological sigh. It's simple. Take 2 sharp inhales in a row through your nose, and then 1 long, slow exhale through your mouth. This quickly offloads excess carbon dioxide and is one of the fastest known ways to calm your autonomic nervous system. So if you are in flight or flight, something happens, you're having a panic attack, 2 short inhales, and then a long exhale. Now another trick is temperature. Splashing cold water on your face, holding an ice cube activates the vagus nerve, a core part of your body's brake system. So, just a few things for you to try. Let me know if you've tried any of these in the past, and let us know if it's worked, because I think this is really helpful for others to hear. Third, you can combine verbal reassurance with orienting. So what that means is while you're sitting for your 30 seconds, slowly look around the room. Name 3 things you can see, 2 things you can hear, and 1 thing you can feel, like your feet on the floor. As you do this, actually tell yourself out loud or in your head, I am safe to rest right now. This grounds you into the present moment, which is almost always safe, and pulls your mind out of the old threat loops. And finally, try some gentle movement. After stress, your body's often humming with pent-up fight or flight energy. A slow walk, some easy stretching, or gentle yoga can help signal that the threat has passed and the stress cycle is complete. Now, the key is to move in a way that feels calming and safe, not strenuous. So we're not doing a speed walk. we're not doing something that's going to trigger your heart to start racing, right? This is about slow, gentle movement. And if rest feels anxious, unsafe, or just plain wrong, please hear this. You're not broken. You're not lazy. Your nervous system has done an incredible job protecting you through everything you faced. Through all the financial hardships, the emotional hardships, all of it. It learned its patterns for a very good reason. Now, it's just time to gently update its map. It's time to teach it that safety isn't just out there after one more task is done. It's available right here in the quiet, right now. And permission to feel peace doesn't come from an empty inbox. It starts by giving your body permission to feel safe. Take what you learned today and please be patient with yourself. This is a practice, not a performance, right? So we're not adding another performance to your to-do list. This is a practice for you to start to feel safe resting again. So if this resonated with you, subscribe for more ways to work with your mind and body. What does that rest anxiety actually feel like in your body? I want you to share your experience because it's a powerful way to remember that you're not alone and you're not the only one. And it helps others that read through the comments also know that they're not alone. And if rest feels wrong right now, nothing is broken. Absolutely nothing. Your body did exactly what it needed to do to survive. Now, it's learning something new. That's all. That's all. You're teaching your body something new. You don't need to force peace. That would be stressful, right? Forcing something else into your life. You just need permission to feel safe first. So I want you to save this for the days where rest feels uncomfortable. Those are often the days you need it the most. Right? When you're just fidgeting, you can't stop. And I want you to take what you need, leave the rest for someone else, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.